va faire.
Bonsoir, bonsoir à tous et à toutes, bienvenue dans notre nouvelle émission, toujours fidèle au poste comme tous les samedis soirs. Bonsoir à tous. Alors excusez-moi, on est en direct donc on a un problème de fil. Donc je rappelle le principe de l'émission et je vais tout de suite accueillir pour commencer Pablo, bonsoir. Ok, donc je rappelle le principe de l'émission pour nos spectateurs qui viennent à peine de nous rejoindre. Pablo va tenter de gagner la somme astronomique et fabuleuse de 15 000 €. Si c'est pas beau, bien sûr que c'est beau. Et du coup, pour ça Pablo va devoir nous raconter une histoire intime, attention, personnelle. Et très véridique, une histoire bien réelle à partir d'une liste de mots imposés. Est-ce que vous êtes prêts, Pablo? Attention, le compte à rebours va commencer. Vous avez 4 minutes, Pabito, pour nous faire rêver, rire, frissonner. Et c'est parti!
This was, I suppose, a long time ago, and I remember I lived in a mother's house with my partner. And I remember, I think maybe you were one of our neighbors.
Oui, c'est un premier point pour notre ami Pabito, on peut l'appeler à la part.
So you were one of our neighbors, and I remember we were very happy in that big old house, because we had children. We had one of each, a perfect pair. Actually, no, we had one special, unique, wonderful child. And we were very happy in that house. And I think I remember in that great big manor house. I remember we ran the tests on the children. Because you see, we sort of knew that one day one of the children would grow up to have an incurable disease, and as yet, incurable disease. So what we decided, what my partner decided, and I followed, we decided together, we would run the test on the children. And we were very organized. We were very thorough about this, very thorough. We were mostly organized, an organized chaos. So I remember we started to inject the child with little cells of cancers and infect the child with little viruses, through the bars of the cage. There was no cage. The cage was in a film. The cage was in a film or a documentary or a horror. The cage was in the fairy story that my grandmother told me on the train journey to. There was no cage. There wasn't. There maybe wasn't. There was no cage. Because you see, the child had a lovely room. He had the best room in that cramped little house. He had stars that glowed in the ceiling. He had a wallpaper of princesses. He had a rug with the map of an imaginary world. And my partner told me on a rainy, hot winter night afternoon, as we made breakfast lying on the sun deck, and he was over there, and he explained it to me. I have an incurable illness. So what we must do is to run experiments on our children so that they can find the new medicine to save me. And I was totally opposed. I understood immediately. I was dumbstruck. I didn't know what to do. So I strapped the child to the bed. I went along with it. I strapped the child to the bed, and we started. I was very kind. I was very soothing. I loved my child, but I loved my partner, and we had to find a cure. I remember I was sleeping all the time. And I remember waking up. And I remember telling to my partner, the most awful thing is happening next door. The couple next door are experimenting on our children so that they can find a cure. And my partner said, that sort of thing goes on. Of course it goes on. Take it easy. It goes on, but a long way, a long time ago. But I was so sure. So I remember, I took the new video camera and I climbed over the fence and into the neighbor's garden and I was know, it was 2, 3, 6 months, years after this. After a while, you just have to know. Imagine you're me. Imagine this was you. After a while, you just have to know if this is something real. You have to know. You have to have something on record. So, I remember it was the Christmas. It was Christmas time, and the Christmas lights were still up, and I'm making my way up the stairs in the baking heat. And I remember through the shed door, I started hearing the child screaming behind the closed door, "Father! Father!" The news shout! Mother! Mother! God of your heart! Which I remember in verse, which can't be because there wasn't any kind of, but here in my head, verse. Father! Father! God of your heart! Mother! So I pulled open the door, swung open, and I remember through the eye of the video camera, I saw my partner, I saw my neighbor injecting the child with little cells of cancers. And I was dumbstruck, and I remember I started calling out. I said, "Why, God, why has it come to this? Are we animals? We who are the reason and imagination, we who are so close to the angels, is this what we're doing with all that God has given us? These tests, these experiments?" I wish I'd said that. When I tell this story to myself or to you, I wish I'd said that. Here in my head, I keep hearing, "Why, God, why?" Here in my head. But actually what happened was, if I remember, I started screaming, "God! God! God! Over and over and over and over and over and over again. Because it was the object was matter. The object was matter. It didn't happen like that. I think it didn't happen. If I remember, it didn't happen. I knew nothing at all. I knew nothing, and that's why I reacted so, God. And my partner sat me down there on the lounge, standing there, with a vodka in my hand, and the tea was cold, and he was there, and the weather was hot, rainy, hot winter night. And I remember my partner explained it to me, and that's how I agreed to the experiment. That's how my partner made me agree to the experiment. And this child is... Look at this child. This child is so damaged. This child has no memory. This child could not tell you what's past, what's future. This child has no moral sense. This child could not tell you this is right, this is wrong. This child has no empathy. He cannot feel anything that others feel. Can we really say that it is wrong to experiment on this child? Honestly. I would not call this child an animal because, quite frankly, that would be degrading to all the animals. J'ai gagné.
La protection des enfants est une priorité. Même un petit enfant sur une bicyclette devrait porter un casque, et un bébé nouveau-né dans un avion devrait être attaché à sa mère.
Un enfant qui fait du roller devrait porter des genouillères.
Et des protège-coudes.
Un enfant qui fait du roller devrait porter des genouillères, des protège-coudes et un casque.
Achetez un de ces trucs en plastique pour que les jeunes enfants sachent ouvrir les tiroirs de la cuisine. Il y a des couteaux dedans.
Ne donnez pas aux enfants des petits jouets mécaniques, ils risquent d'avaler des pièces. C'est tentant, mais ne faites pas.
Vérifiez les yeux des ours en peluche. Si les yeux des ours en peluche sont mal cousus, ne les achetez pas. Et vérifiez le couinement de l'ours en peluche. Si le couinement risque d'effrayer votre enfant, ne l'achetez pas.
Si vous avez un chien, muselez-le. Si vous avez un chat, prenez garde qu'il ne s'assoie pas sur la tête de votre bébé.
Votre maison est un champ de bataille pour un enfant. Les points de table, les friteuses et les escaliers, particulièrement les escaliers, sont tous des sources de blessures pour un enfant.
Votre maison est un champ.
Votre maison est un champ de mine. Pensez simplement aux médicaments dans le placard à la pharmacie, ou aux surfaces dures de la salle de bain. La baignoire, l'évier émaillé, ce sont des surfaces très dures. Évitez les sols glissants.
Évitez les sols glissants. Et au premier risque de fièvre persistante,
Le
appelez
médecin viendra immédiatement au premier
appelez
signe de
immédiatement
fièvre
un médecin.
persistant. Elle aura les médicaments les plus récents, les derniers moyens techniques, et si nécessaire, elle
Ce n'est pas une bonne idée de donner à votre enfant des pyjamas longs. Il risque de se prendre les pieds dedans. Hein.
Attention aussi.
Évitez les zips particulièrement
Méfiez-vous
en
des zips,
métal.
méfiez-vous des allergies. Prenez des
Vous allez
médicaments
dans
pour
les
les
campagnes
allergies, et
pour
particulièrement en été, quand il y a aussi les allergies au pollen. Et en été, mettez de la crème. Méfiez-vous, même avec une bonne crème, votre enfant pourrait brûler.
Apprenez dès le plus jeune âge.
Un enfant long et dangereux.
Expliquez qu'on peut se noyer.
Donnez-lui des fruits, hein.
Utilisez une bonne crème, utilisez une bonne marque, utilisez une bonne crème fiable. Si vous utilisez une bonne marque de crème fiable, votre enfant ne brûlera pas.
Tengo 3 ovejas.
Se tira una foto conmigo y me dice pa' que tú la veas. Prendo pa' ver si me olvido de tu nombre, tu beso, tu cuerpo, tu gemido. Decíamos en el carro, mamita, mal oído. Siempre lo sumo y pienso que todo lo que hicimos, baby. Se tira una foto conmigo y me dice pa' que tú la veas. Prendo pa' ver si me olvido de tu nombre, tu beso, tu cuerpo, tu gemido. Decíamos en el carro, mamita, mal oído. Siempre lo sumo y pienso que todo lo que hicimos, baby. Se tira una foto conmigo y me dice pa' que tú la veas. Prendo pa' ver si me olvido de tu nombre, tu beso, tu cuerpo, tu gemido. Decíamos en el carro, mamita, mal oído. Siempre lo sumo y pienso que todo lo que hicimos, baby. Se tira una foto conmigo y me dice pa' que tú la veas. Prendo pa' ver si me olvido de tu nombre, tu beso, tu cuerpo, tu gemido. Decíamos en el carro, mamita, mal oído. Siempre lo sumo y pienso que todo lo que hicimos, baby. Se tira una foto conmigo y me dice pa' que tú la veas. Prendo pa' ver si me